Well, welcome. It's an exciting night tonight. We've been talking about this for a while. The time has come for our region to meet our owner, our founder, the CEO. He is Dr. Kleinsmith. He is here with us this evening. He will be our key speaker tonight. But first, let me introduce a few things. So welcome people from all around the world. We have people joining in the room very fast, popping in, and my co-admin, co-host will be adding people as they come in. But first, let me tell you today what we are going to cover. We're going to try and keep this in an hour. But if you know Dr. Kleinsmith, maybe that 1 hour is not possible. Nothing that he loves more than talking about colostrum. So, Dr. Kleinsmith talking about colostrum. We also have a bit of an expose on the next 3 top-selling products in Anovite. We'll be talking about the Anovite Founders Club. That's our global launch. We're also doing our first recognition for the region, Bangkok Founders Summit. James will be telling us what he has prepared for that and talking about your next step, what you need to do in this business to grow your business. First of all, let me give you a sneak preview of the man who he is, the man of the hour. His name is Dr. Anthony Kleinsmith. He is PhD, not once, but twice. He has a PhD in nutritional sciences. He holds 2 doctoral degrees. He has been at this game more than 35 years in marketing, selling, researching, developing colostrum products. He's authored several books on colostrum. He's a regular on TV and radio. He is the world leading authority on colostrum. I call him the true colostrum king. And we're going to hear from him tonight for almost the full hour. But first, it is my greatest pleasure, my absolute excitement to do the world premiere of our new colostrum video, but to also announce we have not one, but we actually have a dozen new product videos that have been developed that are ready for launch soon. And the most exciting part of all of these videos is that all of them are available in multiple languages, in native tongue speaking, Chinese, Tagalog, Bahasa Malayu. They're all translated already thanks to the brilliant power of AI. But this first video you get to see here tonight, this is the
Your
first
body
I'll
new
share. I'll go back one, Anovite new video launch. This one is the general one on colostrum, and I'll show another one at the end. So before Dr. Kleinsmith, world premiere of our colostrum video, Colostrum 6.
Your body knew colostrum before it knew food. It's the first nutrition nature ever designed. The signal that tells your cells how to build, protect, and repair. As adults, we stop making it. And that shows up as lower energy, slower recovery, and visible aging. Colostrum 6 restores what time takes away. Sourced exclusively from certified bovine colostrum. Collected in the brief window of the first 6 hours after birth, when it's at its most potent. Over 700 naturally occurring bioactives in one whole food. Built for energy, recovery, and resilience. Not a supplement that pushes your body, a foundation that brings it back into balance. Colostrum 6, where everything begins.
I love it, I love it. What I love most is that accent. Can anyone guess that accent? It's not American, it's not English, it's somewhere halfway between the two. And if I have to call it, I'm saying it's an Aussie accent. Aussie accented videos. So that's the accent choice for the English version. Okay, so that's one of 2 videos. I'll show you the second one later this evening, and then other calls will be releasing videos for all of our product range and in the multiple languages. But now the time has come for Dr. Anthony Kleinsmith. I've given the introduction. Hey, Doc, are you there? Are you with it? We'll need you to unmute. Let's give him some help. I see you're on. Who are you? You're Anovite Inc. Asked to unmute.
Mute. There we go.
There you go. I hear you.
There we go. All right. Let's have some fun.
Welcome to the APAC family. We got to meet your lovely daughter, our president, Katie, a couple of weeks ago when she was in Thailand. This is the first time that you've spoken to the APAC and Africa group en masse.
En masse, yeah. Yep. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. We have a lineup tonight. It's interesting with colostrum because there's so much going on out there that is kind of the marketing stuff, right? Where for me, and we're going to talk about this a little bit. This book right here, The Fundamentals of Dairy Chemistry, is used worldwide. And it literally is the Bible in the dairy industry. Cows don't change, folks. Let's go ahead and get this started with the first slide and jump right into it. Okay. Well, first of all, production. Okay. We are an NSF, FDA, USDA certified production facility. We do everything in-house. Folks, if you ever come by the office, I will personally walk you through, tell you the stories about our encapsulators and our sachet machines and everything that we have going on. And you will see 17 metric ton of our colostrum. It's important when I say our colostrum because if you bought from me 30 years plus ago, since 1991, you bought it today, it's the exact same product. Why? Because it is important to keep it as a whole food, right? Medical grade is absolutely imperative if you're going to be receiving the benefits that colostrum can bring to the table. So what you're seeing there is me standing in front of one of the spray / freeze dryers with a double atomizer. Now, a lot of folks might scratch their head and say, what does that mean, folks? We are going to make new molecules with that machine right there. That's just one of the what I call toys, right, in our warehouses. Let's go ahead and jump to the next one. All right. We have literally a comprehensive product range. It literally covers complete wellness. Complete wellness, folks, is not a singular event. What you're looking for is a plurality. I want to hit every single system and cell in your body as much as I possibly can. And when you stack our products on top of one another, yes, you're going to help with the immune support. Yes, you're going to help with digestive gut health. Yes, you're going to help with metabolic balance and cellular renewal and energy and vitality. But even more importantly, right, you're going to be looking at all of the different systems in a person, right? Not a singular, but we're going to start stacking them up one after another. I don't want to hit one body system. I want to hit across the board as many of those 13 body systems as we possibly can. Give your body the building blocks, your body will absolutely respond, right? Give it the nutrient-rich fuel to perform at your highest peak. Nobody wants to just get by. We want to be supermen. We want to be superwomen. We want to take off and touch people around the world. And that's what we're going to be doing with Anovite. Next slide. Okay. Life's First Food. Now I'm going to bring this book out again, right? This book doesn't change. Why? Because cows don't change, right? Some people will take a look at different forms of colostrum, and what they should be looking at are the basics. It's produced by all mammalian mothers, right, in the first few hours of life. It's a pre-milk fluid, right, that is produced, in this particular case from bovine, it's produced 4 to 6 weeks prior to birth, right? And it's packed with 700 plus. That plus is really important because when you look at it, all the peptides and other things, the immune factors and growth factors and everything else that's in there, it literally is designed to ignite not just your immune system, but it's rapid fuel for the entire body system, the plural, that plethora of 13 body systems. This book tells you, right, this little thing right here, this is kind of the Bible that I was trained around at Cornell University by Dr. Donald Lyon and Dr. Al Fox, literally 30 plus years ago. Next slide. Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. You see, human mothers have what's called passive transfer. Before we ever see the light of day, before we even take our first breath, mom has given us a lot of our immune factors, our growth factors, and we're pretty functional. There are two systems, respiratory and gut, that may take up to a few years to really come online. However, it doesn't work that way with a bovine side, right? If a newborn calf doesn't get at least 2 quarts, there's an 85% sickness or mortality rate. How do we know this? We did a 5,000 calf study that showed 2 quarts is that magic number. And if they don't get it, they're not a producer like you want them to be, right? If it survives, it will never be as healthy. It will never be as productive as all of the other cows that did get their colostrum at the very beginning, right? Now, how much is enough? Well, we know. Okay. Why is colostrum critical? Folks, that passive transfer that we have, right, as a human being, they don't get that. They only get jump started, right, on so many different levels by suckling. Now, we know that suckling isn't necessarily the best thing either. Why? Because on the outside of that mammary gland, and there are countries, right, no countries will be mentioned in the aforesaid story, but there are countries that allow their cows to field graze. Well, folks, there's bacteria, there's viruses, there's bugs out there in the wild that the cows don't necessarily have an antivirus for, right? Or an antibody for. So when you allow a calf to suckle, you may not be getting, even though they may get that 2 quarts, right? And that doesn't mean that they get it, because just like a human baby, if that calf doesn't get up, get on its feet and suckle, it's going to lay there and it's just going to kind of fade away. Why is it important? Because those different factors that are found there, the immune factors, the growth factors, all get jump started, and it's a very particular time frame. You see, we have this enteric system in the gut. It's a constant, never-ending, right, replay. But a calf has this enteric system that if it isn't kick-started within a very short period of time, it's done. Some of those molecules are so large, they will never get through. What does that mean? You're going to get a sickly or a dead calf. That best absorption then is that 1 to 4, maybe 6 hours after birth. At 8 hours, there's such a transition that literally, folks, by 72 hours, you're buying it off of a grocery store shelf, and it's called a 1%, 2%, or a whole milk. It's no longer colostrum, right? So is it important? Critically important. Next slide. Now, how much? You see, when we were doing these research, and we did it with 5,000 calves, what we were looking for is not only how much do they need to sustain, but then how much do they need to thrive, right? To go beyond. And what we found, now we talk about it over here in quarts. Here it's 5 to 6 liters and 6 to 12 liters, right? We never take a first birthing. Why? Because every cow, every mammalian mother that produces an offspring the very first time are opening up pathways. We don't want the colostrum from the bovine because those pathways may have a little blood in it. Okay. Well, we take a second birthing. Why? All those pathways are wide open, and we're getting a much higher percentage of those different growth factors, immune factors, peptides, all the different goodies that we're looking to get. Now, when we take this colostrum, and we actually pull it out and then we bottle feed it. Why? Because just like a human baby, right? Human babies come out and sometimes they latch on and they suckle, and sometimes they're just like, whew, what a ride. I just want to kick back for a few hours, take a little breather, take a little snooze, but a calf doesn't get that opportunity, right? You have to get it in before that stomach starts to close off and they absorb it. That's when they jumpstart and they start to thrive, right? Next slide. Okay. Here's where it gets very interesting, because we have different standards that we live by here in the United States and in pretty much every country, right? We want to make sure it's clean, no antibiotics, no hormones, no injections are going in. We want to make sure that we're treating our animals as a priority. Now, think about that for just a second. If you're a farmer and you're a dairy farmer, if you have a heifer calf born, that's a future milker. That's money in your pocket. You want that baby calf to not just thrive, you want it to like float on the air, right? You want it to be as healthy as it possibly can be. So we live within certain dairy standards. And there are countries out there that they have these nice flowing grassy fields. And when you look at somatic cell count, you see, when you and I, maybe not feeling so good, we go to a doctor and the doctor does a test and they say, hey, you have a white blood cell count. There's some kind of an infection. Well, that happens the same thing with bovine. It's called somatic cell count, right? What we want to make sure that what is happening is that baby calf is not only healthy, it's coming from a healthy mother, and it's given all of the different parameters so it will thrive, right? So, are we family owned? Absolutely. Like Chris mentioned before, and James, you got to meet Katie as well. She was over there in Thailand getting things signed, sealed, and delivered, so to speak, right? We do things around the safety and nutrition to keep those calves healthy. And that's where the farmers come in, because it's a sustainable progression, because they know that what we have is their back. We want to be huge producers in the future, right? So very strong standards. We have very safe. We test every single batch. We test across the board. We test at the farm level. We test at the vat level. When you literally have 5,000 herds coming in, 500 head to a herd, and you're taking all of that colostrum, you're putting these great big vats. We test it at the farm level. We test it at the vat level. We test it at the spray dry level. We test it at, if you get my drift, right? We test. Why? Because nobody out there. And just recently, a company said, oh, we can beat them, and found out, no, you can't, right? No, you can't. They tested us, and then they quietly walked away, right? Why? Because of the science. We didn't just start yesterday, folks, right? And we learned from the very, very, very best. Dr. Donald Lyon at the time was the head of the Veterinary College of Medicine at Cornell University, rated #1 in the world for their dairy testing, right? We got involved in a lot of research back then. I was literally giving them tons of colostrum, and they dispersed it around the world. We now know over 172,000 scientific studies and research documents have been produced not only on this whole substance, but then they started looking at different factors, right? Immune factors, growth factors, peptides, all these different things. Guess what, folks? They're found in colostrum, but in a whole food state. So you have vitamins, minerals, growth factors, antibodies, digestive enzymes, all of these different factors, right? 3,000 plus, as long as you don't manipulate it. You don't remove the fat. You take it in the right time of frame, right? And then you put it in a format. You spray dry it the right way. You want to make sure that you're left intact. And that's where some of the things that we do, go ahead and to the next slide. Some of the things that we do, I love independence, right? Love independence. So when we started looking at everything, and I kind of, when you sent me this slide, Chris, I was like, at first I was taken aback a little bit, and then it was like, breast is best? Absolutely. So many of us, right? So many of us were never breastfed. We had this book come out. I'm 61 years old. There was a book that came out from Dr. Spock that said, don't breastfeed. We can make it better. Man-made stuff is better, right? Well, guess what? Back then, we didn't have the high blood pressure and the elevated cholesterol and the immune deficiencies and the autoimmune challenges and the heart disease and all these other nasty diseases that have just constantly increased over time. And what we can go back to is, I was not breastfed as a baby, but I was a sickly child, right? Now, am I a product of the product? Oh, absolutely. There isn't a day that I don't take my colostrum. I happen to know the owner, right? I use that as a kind of a fun joke, because I can take as much as I want, and I do, right? There's no contraindications, no toxicity levels. I, folks, have done a kilo, right? A kilo at a time. Now, you don't eat a lot of other food, right? But you can cook with it. You can do all kinds of different things with it. Why? We leave it intact. That fat, that is found there. When you start looking at the research, when you say breast is best, I literally saw that and I thought, you know what? No, I want that slide in there because you have to have it. You have to have it. And there's a trend coming back where people are starting to realize that, you know what? Man-made stuff isn't necessarily the best for you. Natural is, right? That's where the breast, I would absolutely agree. The breast is the best. Now, when you look at colostrum, right, you have all these different factors that are found there. And I try to tell people sometimes that I say, it's kind of like having a house that's built up on stilts, right? You have to have these different factors that are left intact. Now, if you've ever burped a baby, right? And I love this picture. You ever burped a baby, a little spit up goes on. You might have to take your shirt off and get a new one before you go to work, right? But that little curd is protected, right, by a substance called chymosin. It's a fat molecule that literally encases it, renin, and it gives it a protective barrier against all the stomach acids. Okay. So can a newborn take our colostrum? Absolutely. Can somebody who is having some gut issues? Absolutely. Why? We've left it intact. It has, I love this, the list that you put together because the IgA, right, is so important. Those two systems that may take a little while before they come online, the respiratory and the gut, IgA is like candy to those two systems because they're coming online, right? Those natural protein structures and the encapsulation that takes place with our colostrum, do you have to put a man-made barrier around it? No. Do you have to do manipulation to remove the fat? Absolutely not. There's enough research that says remove the fat, most of your growth factors and peptides just walk out the window. Your immune factors are all tied into different forms. And the fat is one of the things that actually helps cross the blood-brain barrier. Folks, when we say this is a whole food, it's not just a matter of your immune system being impacted, but as a newborn, one of the biggest factors that's growing is their brain, right? And that's something that this keeping it natural, keeping it intact is 100% where we're looking to take you to that next level. Next slide. Now, I love this one. When you put this together, I was looking at all these companies, right? And it's kind of fun because if you read the label, it'll tell you they're not a whole colostrum, right? They're not all the same as what we are. And I have people all the time that have tried Now Foods and Lactogol and Nancare and others, right? Where they go, well, yours tastes different. It smells different. The mouthfeel is different. Why? Because you're getting 100% colostrum. You're not getting filler. Folks, we do everything in-house. We don't have to have filler. And we're sitting on 17 metric ton right now for you. So no, is colostrum all made the same? Absolutely not. You'll find that they manipulate it left, right, up, and down. Do we do that? Not at all. We keep it 100% intact. Okay. Now, colostrum 6. Yep. We've been tested and tested and tested. It's exclusively sourced within that first 6-hour window. We've had testing done at Cornell University. We've done testing at Eurofins. We've done testing and testing. We do so much testing. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year on ensuring that every single batch meets our qualifications. So, is it true colostrum? It's a very short window of time, folks. That 6-hour window. And the statistics show that after 6 hours, boy, that composition changes, right? It's almost like an overnight. And it kind of is because when you hit, I love this slide, the way that you put this together, right? Because what it shows is literally 0, 6, you're at the maximum potency for all of those bioactives. At 12 hours, folks, you've already lost 25%. At 24 hours, and actually it's less than this. You put it at 50-50. It's actually less than this. By 72 hours, you're buying it off the shelf. It's called milk. right? It's no longer colostrum. You're not getting the immune factors and the growth factors and the peptides and all of the other goodies, right? The oligopeptides, all these different things, they're gone. You're getting a lot of lactose, right? But they're not going to give you the same kind of benefit and structure that your entire system, top to bottom, needs to not just survive. We're not looking for that. We're looking to thrive, right? So, is the 6 different? Oh, very much so. Timing, literally, in this particular case, is everything. Why? Because it's maximum bioactivity. That's where all these different factors, and I understand why. A lot of them do it because of marketing, right? A lot of them will do it because they just don't want to take that extra, maybe 3 or 4 steps to do it the right way. Well, folks, we've been doing it the right way for a long time. And how do we have it? We have it in capsules. We have it in powders. That's the most versatile, right? The powder. And then we have these chews as well, right? And they taste pretty good because I have a lot of people that say, gosh, I get tired of taking capsules. Boy, the powder, but do you have anything else? Well, those chews taste really good, right? Really, really good. And we have the pineapple. We also have a moo chew for kids. I love this testing. This, folks, right here, that ideal colostrum, I personally hand milked at 0 hours. Now, you got to kind of think about this. I milked the colostrum while birthing was occurring. Okay. So that is the standard across the board for everything. Okay. Our Anovite colostrum 6, you'll see a little bit of a difference, right? We lose around 3 to 4% of that bioactivity in the spray drying process. But our biggest competitor manipulates it like mad. And folks, when you have a manipulated product, you're not going to get the same kinds of benefits, right? You're gonna get a little. You got a lot of protein there, yay, right? But you're not going to get all of the immune factors and the growth factors and the peptides. And when you take the fat out, and that's essentially the fat is out, you just removed. And this isn't me talking. This is the science. This is stuff like this, right? And science out there showing you just remove the fat, whatever percentage you removed, just walked out the door with your immune factors and your growth factors. Folks, I know for myself, I want the full Monty. I want everything that's found within a whole colostrum. That's what Anovite brings to the table. So, how much colostrum is in your colostrum? So we aren't going to name any names, right? But if you take a look at our colostrum versus something that's sold over in your neck of the woods, right? You're going to find that is a very, very different comparison. What do you want? The full colostrum? Or do you want a really small fraction of it? I know for myself, I want better skin. I want better eyes. I want better sleep. I want better focus. I want better digestion. I want better everything. Everything. The nice thing about it, we've won the People's Choice Award, the Reader's Choice Award, the Price Westinghouse Awards. We've had so many articles written about us. And we put out a declaration, right? 100% collected in the United States, nothing derived from GMO, free from artificial hormones and antibiotics, free from mad cow, free from foot and mouth disease. And by the way, folks, we actually put these tests out there for folks, right? Free from harmful pathogenic organisms, and it's manufactured in our own facility. That's a big one because so many products out there are never made by the people who actually put a label on it, right? So with our declaration, we test every single batch. Every single batch that walks into our house, so to speak, gets tested. Yes, we do in-house testing. And guess what? We follow it right up with outside testing as well. Every single batch, bar none. Next slide. Some of the benefits. And folks, this is the short list, right? This is a very short list. Immune resilience, digestive and gut integrity support, cellular renewal and recovery, whole body balance and metabolic support. Folks, when I say that we've done a lot of different things out there, stem cell research in South Africa. We did anthrax in Russia when it was Russia. I mean, that's how far back we go, right? Plus all of the other things that we've been involved in, all of that comes back to one product, and it's called the Anovite Colostrum 6. So I always like this question. What about the lactose? Well, sure, you need to worry about it if you're taking a 24 to 48 to 72 hour product. In our product at 0 to 6 hours, 8 to maybe 9% of total solids. What does that mean? That means whatever that bag is, only 8% of it has a little bit of lactose. Why? Because colostrum passes into the mammary gland and there may be a little bit of lactose there. Then, if it's not utilized, it gets reabsorbed and immediately lactose is started to, that production happens in the mammary gland. That's why that first 6 hours is so important. Why? Because it's very little lactose. And everything thereafter has high quantities. So if you're lactose intolerant, are you going to have a little bit of issues with a 24 or a 48 hour or 72 hour? Oh, absolutely, you're going to, right? That's where with ours, here's one of the fun things that I always like talking about, because within a true colostrum, you have a substance called lactase. That's an enzyme that helps you digest proteins and sugars from lactose. You don't need to add other things to it. Just take the real thing. Take the real McCoy. Take the 6 hour colostrum. So, allergy versus intolerance, right? Whenever I talk to people, I always ask them a few questions. Were you having issues when you were a child? Most of the time, people say, no, not really. When did it occur? Usually it's at puberty, right? A big hormonal shift happens, or when a traumatic event occurs, death in the family, a divorce, something along those lines, where it's so traumatizing to the system that you don't produce lactase. Well, here's the beauty of it. Colostrum contains almost no lactose. So those that are lactose intolerant have no problems with high quality colostrum. The beauty of it is it carries with it lactase. It's already built in. It's already naturally occurring. So no, you don't have to worry about colostrum and lactose intolerance. Now, this was one of the articles that I was mentioning before, right? We have 140 international editorials written about us through the Healthy Living magazine. These are just a few of the different factors, immune factors, right? Immune helpers, tissue repair helpers, metabolic factors. Folks, out of 3,000 plus, that plus is a big, big part of this. These are just a few, and some of the things that they do in allowing the body to utilize building blocks to get us back into an absolute thriving state. There's that 700 plus again. Folks, you're not going to see 700 plus from a whole lot of folks out there. Why? They don't know about it. I always found it interesting. We've actually had folks walking into our facility saying, we have a colostrum for you. I ask them one question. Tell me the 6 main components that have 3,000 plus different constituents. Well, it doesn't matter. Just look at the IgG. No. Fat, lactose, casein, albumin, protein, and ash. And within those 6 are that 700 plus. And that's where the immune factors and the growth factors and the peptides, that's where all that's found. It's not in the IgG, big whoop, right? That's a nice testing. But I would much rather have the growth factors and the peptides because of what they do, the things that it works on, the systems that it works on. Who should take it? Everybody. There's a single person alive, including our 4-legged family members, that can't see benefits from taking our colostrum, right? Whether you're a newborn, whether you are toddlers, whether you're in your teens, your 30s, your 50s, your 60s, and beyond, right? I have folks that are 100 years old that take their colostrum every single day, and I get texts from these people saying, I got off, and I did not feel as good as I do when I'm on it. Everybody, folks, everybody should be taking our colostrum. How do you take it? Powder or tablet, capsule, right? Whatever's convenient. Personally, for me, when I'm running around, capsules are the easiest. When I'm kind of kicking back, here's an interesting one. We all drink coffee, right? Put colostrum in, froth it up because of the fat. I know you and I, Chris, have had discussions about can you use it in a hot liquid like that? As long as the fat is intact, absolutely yes. Why? Because that lipid is a barrier against all of that negativity, right? The heat. It keeps it intact. Froth it in your coffee, and it tastes really good, right? So take it 2 to 3 times a day, and colostrum has about an 8-hour half-life. Capsules, you want to do those on an empty stomach. Why? Because you need the stomach acids to break down the capsule. But if you're doing the powders, if you're doing the tablets, you have immediate absorption. You can take that anytime. You can. I use it, right? I do it with cooking. I do spaghetti squash and all kinds. I make pancakes out of it. So it is very versatile, the powder, right? Because you can do more things with it, and because we leave the fat intact, you're going to get the goodies from it as well. We started this off comprehensive product range covering complete wellness. Folks, I just posted a before and a several months into it picture of myself. Okay. I've lost 60 pounds because of our complete wellness. It's a criteria now that for me is absolute. Yes, I take my colostrum. Yes, I take my limu. And yes, I use the other pieces that we have. We're going to talk about it just a little bit. But even with our 4-legged family members, and they are family members, right? We love them to death. Even our 4-legged family members suffer from the same things that we do. Now, what's interesting about that is if you want to do a test at home, feed it to your cat or your dog and watch them blossom. If they're doing that, what's it going to do for us? And they're not polluting themselves like we do, right? Watch what happens. So, Anovite means a new you. Anti-aging, skincare, weight loss, workout, pets. We want to keep you as youthful as we possibly can. And we don't want you just getting by. We want you thriving.
Doc, you're doing great with the timing. We're getting near the end of this part, but before we show the next video, I want to jump into our chat room. We have a number of questions that people have asked you. So if you don't mind, let's do a couple of rapid fire questions and answers. So the first comes from Vinesh Nair. I know he's in South Africa. Question for Doc: what is the relationship between colostrum and cellular repair?
Oh my goodness. With cellular repair, how about lengthening telomeres? How about stem cells? How about the growth factors alone being shown in research to regenerate dead and damaged tissues? Can't get better than that.
Thank you. Okay, second one I might summarize, but a doctor has a patient with hormone sensitivity related to cancer. Since Anovite products contain bovine colostrum, can you clarify whether the levels of naturally occurring hormones, including estrogen, are significant enough to be of concern for individuals with hormone-sensitive cancers? Is that too big?
Okay. Now, I'm not a medical doctor, right? So we're not going to practice medicine, but I will say this. If you will reach out to Chris, I will send to you, Chris, specific studies showing how beneficial things like Hamlet. Folks, if you go to scholar.google.com, type in Hamlet, like Shakespeare Hamlet, and colostrum, and watch the plethora, the thousands of research articles that show there's some significant benefit by taking colostrum.
Okay, I think I know who sent this and I know how to find them. So if you send that, I can share that. Another question, are there any other health conditions or medications or patient groups for whom caution is advised when using Anovite products?
I will always tell you to go talk to your physician, right? We're not practitioners. So that said, though, there are no contraindications. There's no toxicity levels. There's a thing called an LD50, the lethal dose limit for 50% of the population base. If you drink water, I can kill 50% of you. If you take salt, I can kill 50% of you. Vitamin C, I can kill 50% of you. Guess one of the there's only a handful of substances that have no LD50. Colostrum happens to be one of them.
Okay, a couple more. How important is lactoferrin in your formulation, and what benefits do you believe it contributes beyond immune support?
Lactoferrin
Lactoferrin.
is lactoferrin is significant. We leave it intact. It's 4% in natural production, right? And it is amazing. What you don't realize is that's one of over 100 plus different immune factors. So can it have an impact? Absolutely. Throw it again. It's kind of like a house standing on stilts. Okay. If I take one stilt away, is that house going to stand? Sure it is. Take two away, the house is falling over, right? Those are called isolates, folks. Now, can you take a lactoferrin and add it to our colostrum and you can get a bigger bang for your dollar? Yes. Why? Because colostrum brings all the stilts. It has the lactoferrin as well, right? Naturally occurring. And there's a big difference between an isolate and a naturally occurring. Okay. With the naturally occurring, you get all the other things, all the other components that keep it intact. When you do an isolate, and there's a lot of lactoferrin being sold out there. If you really want to see a big bang for your dollar, take their lactoferrin and put it back in our colostrum.
Okay, the more questions we go through, the more people are adding. A quick one. I'm summarizing this as Hindus, Jews, Muslims, kosher, halal. Hit us with kosher and halal. Is it?
We are just about done with our halal certification, folks. Yeah, it is. The facility,
Halal certification,
product,
yep.
everything.
We know that's essential for Malaysia, Indonesia. So yes, halal it
Listen,
is, but
it's
the
not just
certification's
essential.
coming.
Listen, we want to respect everybody out there. And with halal, there are parameters that we want to make sure that we are putting everybody's integrity, if you will, at the front of Anovite's structure. Halal is just one of those things.
Storage. Should we store our colostrum below 60 degrees in order to maintain its full benefits?
I put mine, I'm looking at it right now. It's sitting on my kitchen counter. It's definitely not 60 degrees and here I'd be a little chilly, right? If I do stuff, now here's what's interesting. I have colostrum that is been in my containers because I use it as a food storage since 1991. Every now and again, what I will do, and it's not in a cold storage, it's just in my food storage. I will take a core sample, I'll send it off to the lab and say, is there any degradation? None, zero.
Okay, talking about active aging, can we take colostrum on top of our medications such as high blood pressure and blood thinners?
Again, no contraindications, but definitely talk to your physician, okay?
Okay, I think that's, yeah, for medical questions, talk to your physician. That's a good summary. We got through it. They're all the immediate questions. So let's jump ahead now. We have one more video that I'd like to launch. So the first video we showed was the Colostrum 6, the powder. This next video, this is the world premiere of colostrum in tablet form. Let's take a look.
You already know colostrum works. The hard part is taking it every day. Capsules, powders, mixing, timing, remembering. Life gets in the way. Colostrum 6 Chews. Make it simple. The same certified 6-hour colostrum, the same immune and gut support. In a chew you can take anywhere. No water, no mixing, no routine to follow. This isn't a watered down version. It's the same science, in a form you'll actually keep up with. Because the best nutrition is the kind you take consistently. And consistency is where results come from. Colostrum 6 Chews. The foundation made easy.
Beautiful, and that nice international accent again. And you may notice that there's no heavy words or scripts, which means that voice dubbing can be done in multiple languages. And already, I think all dozen videos have been done in about a dozen different languages each. So that will be appearing, I guess, on our new website coming up soon. But in future weeks, we'll feature more of those videos. Now, Doc, I want to have some fun with you. I didn't prep you for this one, but I want to give you rapid fire because tonight you've really covered colostrum really well, and we know that colostrum 6 is in pretty much all of our products. I want you to briefly rapid fire me 30 seconds on each of these next products. So what I have, colostrum is our number one selling product. We are the colostrum company, but the number two selling product in our lineup is Limousin. Tell us Limousin 6 in 30 seconds, everything you know about it.
Limousin 6, if you want heavy metals, which fogs the brain, if you want energy without any kind of stimulant whatsoever, if you want to sleep better at night, take it. If you want to have a little more energy, take it in the morning. Take all the heavy metals out and just feel the roar of the day.
It comes from the sea, from seaweed.
It does. We have both the Laminaria japonica, but we also isolated. I actually helped I helped isolate that back in 1998. Isolate fucoidan because there's so much research on it, right? Now, put on top of colostrum, add a few other things to it, and watch how much better you feel. Seriously. That's what I do not miss at all every day.
Great. Limousin 6 in 30 seconds. Let's do the same for the number three selling product, which is Seismic 6. Hit us.
I love this one because if you want focus without a crash, right? Now, I love a good cup of coffee with my colostrum in it. But you know what, folks? If you get off of colostrum or off coffee, you get a little headache. You don't feel like you should. With Seismic 6, this has 3 different neurotropics. We've seen the results with kids who are in the gaming. Chris, you and I are way past the gaming age, right? If it improves their cognitive ability at 38%, what's it going to do for us? And there are 3 of those in this formula. Mix it up, drink it down, watch what happens because you come in waves, right? It grows, then you kind of settle, then it hits you again. You're not drinking another one. It just keeps hitting you. And guess what you're doing at night? You're sleeping.
Great. And now hit us again because this one is the number 4 top selling product in the Anovite range. Okay. It is the Gut Biome 6, or we just call it GB6. 30 seconds, GB6.
All right. You have an enteric system right here. This is a brain. There's a tremendous amount of research that says if this brain is not talking to this brain, you're not going to feel well. You're going to be depressed. You're going to have these different things going on. It just doesn't work. Well, with Gut Biome 6, we till the soil, right? We seed it. We then harvest it on a never-ending basis. And one of the biggest things that we do is we have this talking to this, and you just feel like $1 million.
Great. Thank you. That's our number 1, 2, 3, 4 top selling products. Let's change gears because this is an exciting announcement. We've been waiting for a couple of weeks to announce this one. We've been rumoring, we've been teasing, but we have talked about our Founders Club. The Founders Club, yes. International Founders Club. Doc, you have the pleasure tonight of officially doing the global launch of Founders Club. Tell us about it. What's the benefits?
You know what? We want folks to be worldwide. Anovite means a new you. It doesn't mean a new you in the United States or a new you in Malaysia. It means a new you everywhere, right? So the International Founders Club is the first people to get out there and start building, the first people who jump into the lead, right? And the first to benefit. So we have a couple of things that we're going to be doing for these international founders. Go to the next slide. So we're only going to look for 100 international. We're going to take 50 from the United States. We're going to combine them, right? So very limited positions. You got to build to get into it. Next slide. Now, why? Why do you want to be an international associate or a U.S. associate? Because, folks, you're the ones that are going to be reaching out and touching people all over the world, right? Now, what's interesting about it is achieve Jade rank, or what we call senior director. You maintain it for 2 consecutive commission months. In the United States, generate 12,000 QV on an international organization volume. So now you're out there touching people's lives worldwide, right? Now you're qualified. What are you going to get? 1% of an international founders pool. So you're going to be recognized. You're going to be at founder events, right? You're going to be at founder leadership access. You're going to be talking to me and the internal team. You're going to have a direct connect to Chris and to James and to Rod and others. You're going to have founder status, right? And that status is huge because we're going to make you special. The world is open, right? We are going to limit it. So get out there and hustle. And once they're filled, they're closed. So if you want to be a founder, go jump in. We're here to
Great,
support.
thank you. Well, that's exciting, Doc, because this is a lifetime share of 1% of the sales. So it's only open to 150 people around the world, 50 people from the United States who build international. So it doesn't include American volume, it's international volume. And then a limit of 100 positions for those outside of the USA. So that 1% it's like you own a share in the company. In my mind, that's what I'm thinking, because you get 1% of the sales ongoing for the rest of the history of Anovite, and you've already been running for more than 30 years. So just imagine it, like if you got 1% of Apple, or even 1% of SpaceX, or 1% of any of the big corporations. So 150 positions, 50 for the US, 100 for international. You get those people who qualify in the early days, thereafter get a lifelong 1% share of the company. So that internationals, that's your run to get going, to achieve that founder's position. And we're going to refer back to this later on when we talk about Thailand, because Thailand is also connected with founders. But now, where's my friend? Where's my brother? Where's my colleague? Where's my fellow Vice President, James Watson? I'm in Indonesia. He's over in Thailand. Are you with us, James? No, you'll need to unmute, James. Let's see. Maybe I jump in and help him. James, so you keep trying to unmute. I can't find you in the list. There's too many. What do we have? 64 on. So when you jump in, James, you can take over. But this is what James is going to tell you about. It is the Anovite Founders Summit. We've talked about this for the last couple of weeks. This will be in Bangkok, in Thailand, in 2026. It's going to be late September, and I think we're pretty good to say it's the last weekend of September. That was dependent upon booking some contracts for the hotel, but we have the hotel now. It's called this, what is it? The Somerset Hotel.
I
And the
am
reason why we chose,
now.
are you with us?
I am.
Tell us about the hotel and tell us about the proximity. Where in Bangkok is it and what is it close to?
Absolutely. I'm very excited. We're going to have a great time there. It's about a 5-minute walk from the hotel to our new office. You'll see the new office. We'll be doing tours there. We'll be doing trainings. We'll be having a dinner cruise on the river and some other things that will be surprising. So it's going to be a fantastic event and the first of many. And we can't wait to see you all in the Kingdom of Smiles. Last week, I was very fortunate to have Golden and Billy come visit out here. And what a fabulous time. And with Angela and with everybody around the world internationally, the U.S. is on notice. We're coming for you. We're going to beat you guys. We're going to double your size. So let's go. And couldn't be more thrilled to work with you, Chris, and with Dr. Kleinsmith. Not many owners in this world care so much about the product quality and will never, ever cut corners. And that's something in today's world which is so unnormal. And so we are blessed to be part of this Anovite Anew You.
James, tell us quickly, what's the qualification period? And is there a way that the company can pay for everything, for the accommodation and even the flights? How do people qualify?
We're going to release those qualification period, but you're already qualifying. So everybody from this month is already in process. I believe we've got to hit Jade. And, but details are coming because you're going to see a video on Monday that's going to be released. So
Great. So everyone's already qualifying. The qualification started already. It finishes the 31st of August. So whatever is the highest qualification that you have achieved up to the 31st of August, that's the corresponding prize that you'll earn. Yeah. And that can even be private hotel room for the nights for 2 people, including airfares, up to $1,000 reimbursement for airfares. US, is that correct?
US, yes.
Great. And what if someone from the USA wants to come?
We won't allow it. No. Yes, you're welcome. Welcome to come, qualify, and details are going to be announced, I believe, next week. And so make sure that you're attending Florida. and make sure that you're there, because we have some wonderful things that will be announced by our president, Katie Kleinsmith.
Great. Okay, so the United States people, they qualify for their own event, which is in Florida. But we've had tremendous support from our American uplines on our calls. I think the last week's call, I felt like it was almost 50% from the United States. Yeah, guys, if you want to come over, come and see how it's done in Asia. You're welcome to come to this event. We'll use you. We've got good social media trainers, product trainers. Some of you have been doing it for years. Please come and support APAC. We'll roll out the red carpet. You're most welcome to come as well, but there may be a different qualification for you. But this is for internationals, those outside of the USA. James, don't run away anywhere, because I want you to talk about your favorite subject soon. I want to talk about the value packs. The shops are open. People are ordering. We're getting products sent all around the world. Some products are arriving even 8 days, 9 days, 10 days. The value packs are what we are promoting, because that's the first pack you can buy, the first pack that is greatly discounted. This is your experiential pack. This is where you get to try whatever you prefer first, whether it's our colostrum range, or maybe the weight loss range, or even the K-Beauty value pack. And that has now been added. It was added to everyone last week except for South Africa, and they gave me a punch in the face saying, where is it? It took us another 2 days, but now South Africa, and I think all of Africa, you've got the K-Beauty value pack. It's there in your cart. And was it Shamima, Vinesh, I think, placed the first orders. I think we've had 4 orders. Tell us about the K-Beauty value pack. What is in it?
Absolutely. The first product that we have in the K-Beauty value pack is the Day Project Eye Cream. And what that cream does, I use it every day. Bags around the eyes. I'm 63 years old, so it's time that we need to use that. And it will reduce wrinkles and lines, and it gives you a little tightness and firmness in your skin. It has collagen in it that is sourced out of caviar, so it's high-end, high-grade collagen in that product. We also have it supports against a lot of the environmental stresses as well, and we live in a very, sad to say, a very toxic environment from time to time, especially in Bangkok out here, because it's a large city, and it can get a little bit dicey. Then we have the 2979 eye cream, which means if you're 29 to 79 plus, use this every day. It's again a collagen sourced, caviar sourced cream, reducing wrinkles. Put it on at night. Put it all over your face, not just on the eyes. And it sinks into the skin, and you're going to feel different. You're going to see difference. And we've had a lot of testimonials about all of these products. And then we have the regenerative contour, AA plus contour serum. And that is a regime that you put on every day. Pop open the little capsules, you put them on the applicator, squeeze it on, apply it. Your skin is going to feel revitalized, tighter, and you're going to see a lot of the fine lines and wrinkles go away, and your face is going to be shinier. The last thing we have is the Pure Glass Peeling Gel. It's an exfoliant, and it's not as strong where it damages your skin. You're going to feel a gentle exfoliation. The epidermal layer at the very top is going to be cleaned out. It's going to go away the dead skin cells, and you're going to be fresh, brighter, and have that glass look skin that everybody wants. K-Beauty is tremendous, and it's sourced from Korea with a partner with us, and we are very, very fortunate to offer this to you throughout Anovite Nation.
Great, thank you. And I know you've been shipping that all around the world. We've had orders from Taiwan, I know Africa, and I even believe you're going to smuggle some over to the United States, because right now that's only available internationally. But Americans, we've heard, yeah, we're going to get that over to the US as well. Okay, we're a little bit past the hour. I don't want to even apologize. It's been an incredible hour. We've had Dr. Kleinsmith with us. I've jumped back into the chat rooms, and I thought there'd be more questions. It's more like, hey, thumbs up, congratulations on the recognition. So what to do now? Pre-launch sharing. We are still in the pre-launch phase. We're still learning, we're growing, we're tweaking computer systems and shipping, but right now it's all about tree structuring, locking in leader positions. Speak to those people you know, the contacts who have done business, who have done particularly MLM, direct selling. Get your first people in the first positions, in the first countries. That's what it's all about now. Continue with your self-learning. This video, other videos will be put on our YouTube channel. So if you've missed it, or if you'd just like to share the information, you'll have that link hopefully by tomorrow. Most important, you need to activate. You need to order value packs. You need to make sure that you've ordered the products because you need to be a product of the product. You need to be qualifying. You need to be earning money. We want you to earn money. Get your value pack and then get your team to order their packs because that's when you really make the money. That's when you get your fast start and that's when all of the other aspects of our compensation plan kick in. So get your value pack, get your team to order the value pack and share experiences and even share testimonials with us. And then you start earning. Before we go, Doc, it's been a rare privilege, or the first privilege, to have you on the call. I know you're agreeable to jump on other calls in the future. I know it's what you got up at 5 o'clock this morning. Can I give you closing comments before I move to our last slide? Let's hear from you.
Absolutely. Here's what's going on here. We are putting everything in play, right? We're taking the gloves off. We're working every single day on getting all of the I's dotted, the T's crossed. Folks, we've been around long enough that we're never going to quit. A new you, Anovite, means just that, a new you, right? We have the opportunity to go out there and touch people's lives. What we are wanting to do is to take all of the different factors that take a U.S. company international and working with the leaders around the world and dotting the I's, crossing the T's, making sure that we can pay, making sure that we can ship, making sure that all of the different factors go into play here. We are not going anywhere. We are your partner. We are here for you. So that said, a new you is not just about a compensation plan. It's not just about a product line. It's about an attitude. And the attitude is this: from the top down, right? From the owner down, from the CEO down, we are all here working very diligently to make sure that we are working for you. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Dr. Kleinsmith. It's been such a pleasure. We've been hearing tonight from probably certainly the world's leading expert on colostrum products, and one of the top manufacturers in the world of colostrum products. That concludes our call tonight, but I just want to you info@anovite.com if we can help you. If you need help, info@anovite.com, and they'll respond overnight. Thank you, everyone.